What's going on? How could I help?
Okay. I don't understand. Well, first of all, I don't know what to do now. I'm going back to work tomorrow, so I will have less time to study between the commute and the hours. I was working from home, so I was able to do 3 hours in the morning, 3 at night, and a little bit of reading in between. But I don't know what I should do now since the time is closely reaching.
Yeah, things are going to change undoubtedly. If you were working from home, you had more time to study. Now you're
Yeah.
commuting and maybe work's going to be a little bit busier. So it's going to be an adjustment and you're going to have to fit in the time wherever you can. So an hour before work, if you wake up super early, an hour during lunch, an hour after work before you go home. Maybe you can fit in some time during the workday. Maybe on the commute, you can do a little bit. Just got to get the hours where you can.
Oh my God. That's going to be so wild.
Yeah, I mean, especially after months of lockdown, I'm sure it's going to be a big change.
No, definitely, definitely. And I mean, I just, an email that I sent you before, I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know if I'm getting like anxiety. Like when I don't do stuff timed, I feel like I do great. Then when it comes to timing, I kind of like lose it. And I'm like more worried about the time, like trying to do the questions within what, a minute and 30 or 2 minutes or less. And then I don't perform well.
I hear that. Yeah, timing makes a big difference. It makes a big impact. And so it's not enough to get it right. You got to get right efficiently. It's a whole nother
Right.
level to the prep, but accuracy first. You got to make sure accuracy is good. So how do you feel when you're doing it untimed? Is your accuracy pretty high? Where is it at?
Yeah. I love doing it on time. I think everyone does, right? But then I'm like, okay, so I could do it on time, and then I try to do it timed. I don't know what I'm missing, honestly. I have been studying since Feb, and I'm not too sure. I don't know.
Well, you got to slowly introduce timing. One thing you could do is if you got 35 minutes per section, start out by timing yourself on a section. Give yourself an hour if you want. Then cut it down bit by bit. Maybe you cut it down 2 minutes at a time, maybe 5 minutes at a time. So you're giving yourself an hour, then you're giving yourself 55 minutes, then 50 minutes, just working your way down to increase the pacing.
Maybe, I guess. And also, reading comp. I I mean, I like logic. Logic games, I think, are the easiest for me. It's weird that I could do mixed games better than grouping when mixed has grouping and sequencing involved. But then is logical reasoning, and then at the end is reading comp.
Well, it's not all about game type. It's not all about game type. Just there's other things going on in the game, just the difficulty level overall. Sometimes the rules, you get them or you don't get them. But with reading comp specifically, what's giving you trouble? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's another thing. Every time I do prep tests I don't do any flex stuff, but I do for 3 hours, all 5 sections. It's just the lowest. I'm not even too sure. I do know that low passages sometimes are a bit dense and boring. So maybe that's one of my biggest weaknesses. And I really don't like the passages that we have to compare, passage A and passage B. I'm like, oh Lord. And I spend a ton of time.
Well, you got to find a way to make it not boring. They are boring. I get that they're purposely boring. You've got to find a way to get interested in them. And so if you can think about how to exaggerate the sides or caricature them in some way, and my masterclass videos in the course go into that with some examples. I'll kind of exaggerate the two sides if there's two different viewpoints, just to make them a little bit more extreme, to make it easier to get a grasp or a handle on the differences. So take a look at those, the masterclass videos on reading comp in the course.
Masterclass. Okay. All right. And also, so you said try to just wake up earlier now that I'm going back to work to get in the hours of studying, right?
Yeah, cram in some time. So let's say, what time do you have to leave for work?
7:30.
That's pretty early. It's pretty early.
Commuting, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, you could do it again, incrementally, bit by bit. So what time were you going to wake up?
I usually wake up at 6:15
Okay. So
to go to work.
if you could squeeze in, like, just to have some momentum on it, if you could wake up 10 minutes earlier to squeeze in 10 minutes of something before you leave for work, that could be good. Or maybe you get to work 10 minutes early so you can crank out some problems before the workday starts. You don't want to do it right when you get out of bed because of sleep inertia. You get some brain fog. It'll be tough to really focus. So shower, eat breakfast, get ready for work, then do the problems. Or you commute and you do the problems on your commute, and then you do a little bit before the workday starts. Like if you could find a space at your desk in your office somewhere, maybe there's an empty conference room, you can do a little bit before it's go time.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now, also, I do know my weaknesses with strength, weakening questions, and also necessary assumptions. Those are my biggest weaknesses. Should I just focus on that specifically on hard questions, or should I just still continue to study all different question types?
If there's a weak area that you know is giving you trouble, you definitely want to drill it on the side. So if you know strengthen or weaken gives you trouble, then do a bunch of those in a list. I have a list on the website in the schedule where I lay out, here's a bunch of strengthen questions from all the previous exams. Do a couple dozen of those on the side.
Okay. And also, do you think I should do first like the easy ones and like medium and then harder ones, or should I just dive into the hard ones?
I would start with easy and work up in general.
Okay.
Yeah, build that confidence, build that morale going in.
Because I just started your schedule, and there's a lot of I just feel like we're thrown into the games, game types. And I was like, all right, here's a challenge. Let's do it. They weren't easy. Or the ones that you made up or other students came up with that were a bit weird with the Greek,
the Greek gods, yeah.
That was something else.
Yeah, well, the reason I start with games is because it's actually the most learnable section, even though it seems the most intimidating at first. So it could feel like you're getting thrown in, but in reality, I'm having you go easy to hard within every single category. So easy ordering, moderate ordering, difficult ordering, easy grouping, moderate grouping, difficult grouping. And I'll admit I wrote some pretty tough games just as examples, just to kind of let you see what the curveballs can be like. But then I also explain them. So you see they are solvable.
Oh no, yeah, of course. I really did not ever come across something with the A's. That was really something else.
Yeah, well, I want you to be ready for anything, any little twist like that. And you saw that even though the game, I messed with the letters there, it's still like any other game under the surface, right?
It's all about the lettering, man. Like that would mess you up.
Yeah.
Oh God. So I think that's really it. It's just the timing with me. I feel one way when it's untimed, like I said, and then I'm someone else when it's timed. So I'm still trying to I think it's mental and trying to prepare myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And the speed will come with understanding. So if you stick at it, if you got a while, so you build your understanding, you stick with the process and trust in that, and the understanding and the speed will come with time.
What do you think is, I mean, you deal with a lot of students. Is everyone having the same issues with timing and reading comp?
Oh yeah. I mean, these are all very normal questions to be getting. I mean, you could see, for example, on the YouTube channel, I've got over 100 coaching videos like this where people are asking the same questions again and again. It's nothing new.
So you're just going over them again and again.
Well, everyone has its own unique spin. And occasionally I will say, you asked me about reading comp, and I said, look at the course videos. I've got it all there already. I'm not going to repeat myself verbatim with everything, but these common questions do keep coming up. So you're not alone in asking these things.
All right. Now, I have been practicing with the digital to be, to get more in touch with the new stuff. They are providing us with paper, right? I've been hearing and reading and seeing. I'm not too sure about that paper stuff. They are providing us with scrap paper.
Yeah, so for the digital LSAT on tablet, they give you a booklet of 12 to 14 pages of scratch paper. And then for the flex, it's at home. So of course you provide your own scratch paper, but they let you have 5 sheets, which is 10 pages double-sided. So it's plenty. But yeah, you can use scratch either way.
And do you think that the October LSAT will turn into flex because of what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't even want to have it here. With, I left my family, but, being in here and then there's 5 of us in this apartment, I don't know. I was hoping that...
Tell LSAC, they'll give you a hotel.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so if your home environment, let's say it's too crazy with the family around, you want some peace and quiet to do your exam, reach out to them and they will give you a credit. It's $125 max, which in New York City maybe isn't enough to stay at a nice hotel, but you can go somewhere for at least a day or a night and you could take it at the hotel.
I did not know that. That sounds like a great idea that I should definitely look into. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I was so worried about that. I was like, I hope I have to go to like a center, whatever, a school, and take it there. Even if it's 5 hours versus 3 hours. So I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome, Winnie. You got this. You got this. Well, keep at it, keep in touch, and let me know if you need anything moving forward. And I'll see you in class soon.
Definitely. Thank you for your time and your pointers.
Of course, my pleasure.
I will be emailing you.
Awesome. Please do.
Alrighty then.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.